Hi everyone, Frankie here, New West Reset. Hello, how's it going? Thank you very much for shooting in, joining a fella here for another one. I am, well, first of all, boots on the ground video for you. I'm in my local neighborhood park, and I'm going to be heading up the hill here in a second or two just to show you something very interesting, a little bit of a different format on this video here today. But before I do that, there's a little plaque or a sign here that's got a little bit of the local history, a little bit of the flavor of the neighborhood I live in, Sun Alta, and the neighborhood that's the neighboring neighborhood, if you will, to mine, up there on the hill, Scarborough. So yeah, we're gonna go and check that out. So stick around, be right back. About a heaven in Alberta, where they've got all hell for a basement. Alright, and we are back, and here we go. Just hold it there steady for you for a few seconds if you want to pause it and read it. So again, the Scarborough community up the hill there. Up there. Houses. We've looked at a few things up there already. And then Sun Alta, which is the community I live in, which is this away right here, the bottom of the hill. So yeah, I found it interesting here. Basically, the Canadian Pacific, the CP Railway, hired this John Charles Olmsted. His name's been kicked around a lot. I don't know what the heck he's doing way up here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. But anyway, they had him design this neighborhood up on the hill there. I thought that was pretty interesting. Basically around 1910-ish onward, started developing it. This park went in around roughly the same time, 1910, 11, 12-ish. I know the tennis club, which is right there, where the clubhouse is there. And we've visited that or looked at that briefly before. So that's been there since 1912 anyway. But really what I wanted to look at here today from the top of this hill was from a photo that I found when I was just doing some research on the local neighborhood, that having to do with the old streetcar tram system, the electric streetcar and tram system here that developed starting in 1909, I believe, until 1950. And you know, the trolley. Anyway, in researching that, I came across an old photo of my neighborhood. So anyway, without further ado, let me head up the hill there and get a little bit of a different vantage point for you, and you'll see what I'm getting at. So hang tough, be right back. All right, and I'm back. All right, so it's a scorcher here today, by the way. Beautiful day. Hope you're having a wonderful day as well. So the reason why I came up here is because, well, this is the photograph that I found right here. Now I've tried to kind of get up to the same vantage point, although it's tougher because these trees are, you know, it's summer. They're leafy, so it's a little tough. But basically you can still sort of see the sort of burgundy-ish, brownish, reddish, burgundy-ish, orangish peeking through the trees there. That's the clubhouse for the tennis court. So the tennis court I know is right there, and the tennis club in the photograph. So I thought today what we would do is look at 4 houses in this photograph that to me really stick out like sore thumbs, and just kind of check them out a little bit here. So the first one we're going to look at is this one right here, which in the photograph is this one. All right, so this is now where, as I mentioned earlier, the tennis court is now. I think in that photo it's just a park, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell when you blow up the photo too large. You know how it is. It gets all picoulated and you can't really see a lot of detail, but it didn't look like there were any buildings or tennis courts there yet. But anyway, here's that first house that we're going to have a look at, and it's a real beauty. It's I think now a 3-story, but in the photo it's 2-story with the attic. But I think they have since obviously opened up the top attic space and made it a vaulted ceiling 2nd floor, because I can now see modern skylights up there in the ceiling, or in the roof, and so on. But this is on the corner of what used to be 17th Street and 14th Avenue, 17th Street and 14th Avenue, Southwest. And according to that little blurb, this road used to connect to this road. But as, you know, over the years and decades, the park evolved, so on and so forth. They made them a couple of dead-end streets, or what in Canada what we call a cul-de-sac, which is French for bottom of the bag. Aye, okay, sure. Anyway, let's have a look at this beauty here. Now, it looks like it has the wooden siding on the main floor and on the second, and then the upper it's got wooden shingles. Really nice big windows. Beautiful big columns there on the front deck or veranda. Nice big huge corner lot. Big massive pine tree on there, so that thing's been there a long time. It's got a rear veranda or deck as well here. Nice main entrance, and then a little side entrance here. It's got a window behind those flowers with a window well there, so Mudflood window maybe. Yeah, it looks like they have a screened-in back porch, sunroom kind of idea. Beautiful tall home too, just magnificent. Nice stone around there, and I don't know if that's an original stone or applied stone. Probably applied around here if you're going to be using stone. 99.93827% of the time, it's going to be sandstone, right? And I just got to move around this tree here. The next one we're going to look at is that tall, sort of taupey beige one right there, and behind this sort of pinkish looking one. Originally I was going to skip this one, I think, but because it's all covered in schmutz. But it's very similar to the one we just looked at here. It's got a big, huge wall-type fence around it and a modern garage. But you can see the old brick chimney there, so I guess at one point it had 2 chimneys, maybe. And it also looks like originally 2-story. They've made into a 3rd up there, the attic space maybe. It's just too bad it's all covered in that stucco textured stuff. Can't really see what's what. Whew, it's hot. Anyways, this next one is this sage green and butter yellow house there, which in the photograph is this one. All right, so let's have a look at this beauty. So there it is there, this one right here. What a phenomenal looking home. Even with that detail there and the top of the eaves. Arched window there with some leaded glass in it, and the tops of the other 2 are leaded glass as well. And on the side of the home in that dormer, same story. Really nice. Beautiful place. Let me just get in front of it here. What a lovely place. The Rose of Sharon, it says on there. They've christened their home the Rose of Sharon, Sharon Avenue. So again, you see wooden siding and then shingles. And there they've got a double shingle thing going with the sort of square rectangular shingles and then the scalloped shingles Really nice detail. And I didn't see this in the photo. I did see a front porch or veranda, but I did not see this in the photo. So this, to me, perhaps a later addition. But yeah, what a lovely place. Guy wonders what's being hidden under there, though. Because, you know, again, this, not only in the photograph, but here right now, sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the other houses, which are still nice houses, but they're not quite as elegant and robust and large. They don't look like what we'd be told are like old world Victorian ranch houses or something like that, you know what I mean? These are more, they look like they were built in the 20s or 30s. You know, again, still lovely, but much more modest. You know, large yards, and they've been here a long time, and so on and so forth, but yeah, just not the same type of house, if you get what a fella's getting at. And then behind it, we're going to have a look at that as well. Because in the photo, you can sort of see it. Kind of sticks out like a sore thumb as well. Right here, so here's the next one. And again, comparatively, sticks out like a sore thumb. You know, except for the schmutzy one and first one we looked at. But beautiful. Again, big, tall, 2-story brick building. And then they, in modern times, I'm guessing, have made the attic space more of like a 3rd floor living space. Huge sandstone above and below the windows and the main door. I can't get too close. So there's people home and their kids are playing in the yard. So I don't want to be that guy. I'll walk by it in a bit here on the other side. But I wanted to get some of these wide shots here first. There's that sandstone up there. And again, all these angles with all these dormers. And big, massive houses, considering Calgary's just kind of starting out at this point, you know? Just a big behemoth of a place. And even still, now that they've widened the streets and everything over the years, in the 40s and 50s, it's still a good sized yard. But anyway, let me pause it here for a sec. I'll be right back. And the last one in the photograph that we're going to look at, we, well, can't really see it at all from this vantage point. But it's the one that kind of, it's not this one. This one is not in that photograph, surprisingly enough. But it's kind of right in right now where these trees are. I don't think I can get a good enough angle for us to see it. But in the photo, it's this one. That's sort of the corner of it, maybe right there, peeking out of the trees there a bit, maybe. Okay, and this is the last one today. This is the one that in the photo looked like it was kind of standing all on its own, nothing else really around it. It's this one here. It's going to be hard to see because it's got a hedge and some massive trees in the yard. And we've looked at this one before on the channel, real briefly here, but it's gone through some, they fixed it up a bit since then. It's got new owners now, so it's been repainted. I think they reshingled the roof. I think they even replaced some of the crappy old windows. I know I can't really see anything this away, but there's a side lane or an alley here. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, they've blocked in that one lower window down there. Boarded thingy. I'm trying to get out of the glare. You can see great big huge house. And same thing, top, what I'm assuming was an attic is now a living space. My neighbor just drove by. Oh, they decided not to block these rear windows in, but they're going way, I mean, they're shooting way down in the ground there. Like a foot? Yeah, sure, let's just put a window a foot below ground. Nope, don't really do that. But if a guy was to dig down in there, that house goes, you know, a couple of feet deeper at least. But probably more like 4 to 8 feet, at least around here in my experience, and poking around anyway. So yeah, there you go. I think that checks off the list. So yeah, there you go. Pretty interesting. Those 4 houses, and a few more that aren't in this photo, but are in the neighborhood here, just really stick out like a sore thumb to a guy. That they were here before the railroad developed the land, or sold it to land developers, had it, you know, laid out with streets and, you know, all the fancy hullabaloo that we read on the sign down there. So yeah, I just thought it was really interesting, really neat. And there's a lot more in this neighborhood to look at, but a guy's gonna kind of keep it in his back pocket for colder, wintry days where, you know, I don't have to venture too far from my house to come, you know, 2 blocks over to kind of poke around in here with you fine folks. So with that, that's going to seal the deal. Frankie, New West Reset, and this exploration of my neighborhood here in Sonalta a little bit. Speaking of, you know, thumbs, you know, give a guy one of these and do all the other things down there. Let me know what you think. And until the next one, take care out there and have yourselves a good one. All right? Cheers.